Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 325. My name is Rob Hoback. Happy that you're here. Honored and humbled that you keep showing up, like for reals. So before we get into our regular routine, let's just talk about number 325 for a minute, because that's a number that I like for a couple reasons. Number one, it is Jack's birthday. Not today, 0325. So March 25th is his birthday. 325 is also the store number for the Steak and Shake at 325 Veterans Parkway in Normal, Illinois, which was, the way I grew up. I grew up there in Bloomington Normal, which was the founding place of Steak and Shake, and they built a new Steak and Shake. It was a new prototype that they then probably built a couple hundred of them. But the first one was there in Bloomington, or actually it was in Normal. I got to help build it, got to help open it up, and just every time I see that number, it's one of the things I think about. Until a couple of years ago, Jack showed up on the 25th. They got bumped, so then they're number two. All right, so it's time to get to work. We used to call it a Freaky Friday, and I think we should continue to call it a Freaky Friday, except for during football season and the days that Sam gets to wear his uniform to school. Those will be football Fridays. So welcome to a football Friday. It's time to get to work, so let's do it. First things first, still the realist. You know what I am? I'm just going to be the realist today, and here's why. Is we got to talk about that football game, right? Now, I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday I had blue and orange. That was just the way that the placards showed up, and then this morning with this, I was hoping that the Packers would win. Otherwise, I'd be taking a lot of grief about this. But let's just be honest about what we saw last night. The Bears look great to start that game. That defense is scary. Offensively, they've got some work to do, and the Green Bay Packers, while they won the game, they've still got a lot of work to do as well. So so I'm just being real, right? 1-0. Either team could have won that game. Both teams offensively looked terrible. I think the Packers looked a little bit better, which is what you would expect. But I don't know what the answer is there with preseason, because they both looked pretty bad that first game out. All right, so here's my thought of the day. Is we talk about this often, but the importance of finding your people. So if you take the Packers from last year, which was a disaster, you had the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and Aaron Rodgers were clearly not aligned. And I'm not so sure everybody was bought into Mike Pettin as the defensive coordinator either. I don't know this, just saying, because it felt like the previous coach was forced to address his defensive coordinator issues. He had to fire his longtime friend and mentor and all that stuff. Anyway, it just felt like there wasn't. They didn't operate as a cohesive unit, and the Bears did. The Bears had a great team environment with their coach and everything last year. Hopefully, they're able to continue on that. But things on the sideline look a lot different with the Green Bay Packers. I'm just talking about the interaction between coaches, players. I mean, after the game, you'd have thought the Packers had won like a playoff game or something. But it was a very hyped up game, and you could just see the body language, the tonality, just completely different, right? Before it was very passive aggressive, and we've all been in both of those situations, right? We've been in situations where we're working on something and we're not with our people, and we feel like an outsider, and we never really ever. The team doesn't get our best, because oftentimes we don't perform at our best when we're very uncomfortable situation and there's not trust between the individual and the team and the leadership. I mean, this makes perfect sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you, but I was encouraged. It looked like the Packers were back to being a family, and that they had surrounded themselves with their people that thought, that think like-minded, kind of like what we do here. So, just another example of how important it is to find your people. And then when you find good people, you got to make sure you take good care of them so they stick around forever. With that, we're done for the day. Hands up, peace out, we're better together. I appreciate you stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow morning on a Savage Saturday. We got to get after it early, because we got we got to be on the road by 8:30, and I got all three kids. So this is going to be awesome. So we'll see you then. Have a great football Friday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Deuces. Go.